Coming up, a meeting is held about the final part of the Mountain Parkway expansion project.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet held an open house in Salyersville tonight. They invited folks to learn about the Magoffin and Floyd County part of the Mountain Parkway expansion. The 13-mile section would be the final piece of what would mean a 4-lane highway all the way from Pikeville to Paducah. WYMT's Keaton Hall has more.
Kentucky transportation officials met with the public on Tuesday, providing information on the proposed expansion of the Mountain Parkway from Salyersville to Prestonsburg.
The Mountain Parkway is a lifeline for Eastern Kentucky. Building a 4-lane facility, it's going to help facilitate job growth. Industry is going to be looking at the area.
The event allowed folks a chance to see the new preferred cross-country route, which does not follow the current Kentucky 114 route.
People wondering what the map looks like, how it was going to impact their home or not. So a lot of people are coming out here excited about a 4-lane facilities. Others are coming, a little bit discouraged because it might be impacting their property, but overall it's going to be for the benefit of Eastern Kentucky. John
Carty currently lives along the projected route. If it's accepted, he would lose his home of more than 30 years.
It's going to take all of our property away. The map reads we got 186 acres, and it's going to go through the house, and it's going to landlock the rest of it. So,
even still, Carty sees the necessity of a connected Eastern Kentucky.
It's progress. What you want to do is, we need something in Eastern Kentucky. We need a road in here to get industries down here. Mining and gas is gone, and we got to have something. So, hopefully, this will bring an industry in that we can get our economy going back again.
The new parkway is still likely more than 6 years from completion. In Salyersville, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
For more information on the project, you can go to mtnparkway.com or visit our website, wymt.com. Well, another mild day through the region today. We topped down in the 60s in many locations, and we're only going to get warmer than that as we head through the remainder of the week. For the most part, at least the next couple of days. Here's where we ended up today, 62 apiece at London and in Jackson, which is about 10 degrees warmer, a little bit more than that than we should be this time of year. Jackson only fell to 47 this morning. London got to 38 a little bit earlier on today. Region-wide, those temperatures remained on the warm side, with folks down in the Cumberland Valley getting up into the middle and upper 60s for daytime highs today. We've cooled off a little bit out there. Manchester's down to 42, but the rest of us in the upper 40s to right around 50. Warm front on its way through the region as we head into tonight. We'll start to bring those winds out of the south and west and bump those temperatures up through the nighttime hours, with a few showers possible as we fall through the rest of the night. Many of us, that low is occurring right now and will rise. At least we'll increase those temperatures as we head through tonight. Details on when we could see temperatures break records in a few minutes. Steve? Evan, thank you. Troy Campbell was in Perry County District Court earlier today. He's accused of murdering 29-year-old Ryan Whitaker. Police say the shooting happened in the early morning hours of February 18th. During the hearing, Campbell's defense attorney entered a plea of not guilty and asked about Campbell's bond. Perry District Judge Cody Gehring says Campbell is being held on a $100,000 cash or property bond. The judge said he plans to listen to the facts of the case at the preliminary hearing before making a decision on reducing or potentially increasing the bond. The preliminary hearing is set for February 28th. Two advocacy groups are shining a light on illegal cockfighting in Kentucky. Animal Wellness Action teamed up with the group Shark to identify and list 16 cockfighting arenas in counties around the Commonwealth. The group says they obtained this drone footage of one in Magoffin County. Federal law bans the possession and sale of animals for fighting, but the president of Animal Wellness Action says many groups come in from out of state because Kentucky's laws are less severe.
So you're seeing that people are coming into Kentucky because it's viewed as, number one, a state without as severe a set of penalties as these neighboring jurisdictions. And also, it appears that in some cases, local law enforcement has been corrupted.
The groups also say new research shows a link between cockfighting events and the spread of avian flu to humans. New tonight, we're learning the McCreary County Superintendent left his job hours before he was arrested for bringing a gun on school property. The school board voted to accept John Gunn's release last night. Around 6 this morning, the McCreary School Police say Gunn carried a firearm into the Board of Education building. He was seen on surveillance. He admitted to having the gun in his possession, and he is now facing charges. It's not clear why he left his position. Several groups gathered at the state capitol today to push for restoring voting rights to felons. The League of Women Voters brought folks together to push for legislation restoring rights to vote for 160,000 people. It is in the state constitution that most felons cannot vote. Some saw their rights restored through an executive order from the governor, but advocates say it needs to be made permanent. They say Kentucky has some of the toughest restrictions keeping people convicted of crimes from casting ballots.
It also undermines the fundamental principles of our democracy. It is time for the legislature to take action and empower the people of Kentucky to make a choice about who has the say in our democracy.
A bill sponsored by Senator Brandon Storm would restore voting rights to felons with just a few exceptions, such as treason. It would also restore felons' civil rights within 3 years. Voters would have to approve it, and it would be placed on the ballot in 2024. The future for one Pike County nursing home is unclear after the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services terminated its agreement last week. The termination notice claims Parkview Post-Acute and Rehabilitation Center in the Shelby Valley community, quote, has failed to substantially comply with Medicare and Medicaid health and safety participation requirements. The exact cause of the termination has not been released. The Medicare website removed its rating for the facility at some point, saying the nursing home has been cited for abuse. The facility has had 19 federal fines in the last 3 years, totaling more than $1.26 million, and had 3 Medicare payment denials since 2020. It's unclear at this time if those are directly related to the termination of the Medicare provider agreement. With egg prices spiking and several local farmers losing their poultry stock following last year's flood, those with the Breathitt County Conservation District wanted to help in any way they could. That's why they created the Egg Layer Program. This incentive is for Breathitt County farmers to purchase chicks at a reduced price to help rebuild their poultry stock and to implement more self-sustaining solutions throughout the community.
We get excited to see our farmers get excited about a program. If it's something that they like, if they're excited, that means that we're doing something that they're going to appreciate and something that they're maybe going to want to do in the future as well.
Those with the Conservation District say they hope this program can inspire other districts across the region to implement similar incentives. They add that if this program goes well, they will consider offering it or offering more like it in the future. Pikeville Elementary School's Inventor Squad kicked off this month, inviting students to the table to learn in a new way. The program is offering older students a chance to create prosthetic arms with Legos and 3D printing, while turning the younger students into marble roller coaster architects. The students are working through the first phase with cardboard, learning how to change things up.
When you sit and you just listen to their conversations and see them kind of create and problem solve, there's so many possibilities in these groups.
Sloan hopes to expand the problem-solving aspects in future camps involving local businesses to pitch problems for the students to solve. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, the University of Pikeville has announced the location of its College of Dental Medicine.
Plus, we've got some late spring air trying to arrive before the end of the week. Details on that and rain chances coming up after this.